Where did Cain get his wife? What is her origin? Get ready to unravel together an enigma that has intrigued minds for centuries. The origin of Cain's wife. Ever wondered how Cain, one of the first sons of Adam and Eve, found a wife and even fathered offspring? It's time to explore the depths of Genesis, where every word tells a story and every detail reveals hidden secrets. Yes, in this video, you will discover what really happened and the origin of Cain's wife. This is not just a biblical story. It is a saga of mysteries, curses, and family connections that will surprise you. So, it's time to unravel the enigmas behind the story, the origin of Cain's wife. As we enter the primordial chapters of human history, where the destiny of Cain, the firstborn of Adam and Eve, is intertwined in a fascinating way, we discover that Cain's relationship with his brother Abel transcends the simple fraternal narrative, the episode of the sacrifice to God, an act of devotion, where both offer their products to the Most High. But divine acceptance falls exclusively on Abel's offerings, leaving the Cain's offerings rejected. The reason for this refusal remains an intriguing enigma, generating different interpretations over the centuries. Speculation about the nature of the offerings and the possible negative motivations in Cain's heart intertwine, forming a complex fabric of biblical intrigue. The outcome of this episode marks not only the first human tragedy recorded in the Bible, but also lays the foundation for profound reflections on the consequences of human choices. Imagine waking up in a world where your actions have inexplicable consequences. This is exactly what happened to Cain after the fateful murder of his own brother Abel. Suddenly, Cain finds himself banished, cast into the mysterious and dark land of Nod, a land that existed on the east side in the most hidden corners of Eden. Cain, marked by the first act of murder in history, was alone. Totally alone. Without family, without friends. Just him and his guilt echoing in the caves of this new, unknown territory that now became his home. When divine wrath manifests, the punishment for Cain goes beyond what the imagination could conceive. God, in his justice and mercy, does not simply mark Cain as a visible sign of his transgression. The curse is not just physical. It lies like ominous shadows over Cain's psyche, casting him into a state of solitary wandering. Cain, now marked and removed from the divine presence, is condemned to profound solitude. The mark, although not clearly defined in Scripture, symbolizes more than a physical separation. It is an emotional burden, a load of guilt that Cain carries with him, a weight that would distance him not only from God, but from human coexistence. The loneliness of Cain, this lonely wanderer, becomes a powerful symbol of spiritual and emotional alienation, a direct consequence of his choices. This is not just Cain's punishment, it is a deep dive into the depths of the human condition and the unfathomable consequences that arise when the lines between the divine and the human intertwine. God, in his infinite compassion, places a mark on Cain. Not a mark of condemnation, but a seal of divine protection, a safeguard against the claws of human vengeance that hangs over him. This act not only preserves Cain's life, but also paints a complex picture of mercy that transcends pure justice. It is as if, even after transgression, God reaches out to protect those who have strayed from the path. This mark, mysterious and loaded with meaning, is not only the guarantee of Cain's survival, but also a symbol of mercy that intertwines with divine judgment. This brand is a mystery in itself. She is a protection against the revenge of others, but also a permanent scar of Cain's fatal choice. How does this influence Cain's fate in his search for a mate? Here is the crucial point that piques our curiosity. Where, in this vast desert of solitude, did Cain find a wife? It's a question that resonates through the ages. After all, women were not mentioned before Eve. How then did this mysterious figure appear in Cain's life? For the Bible reports in Genesis 4:16-17, revealing that Cain, despite his punishment, finds a wife establishes a marital relationship, and has a son named Enoch. There are two theories that make the wheels of the mystery turn. Two explanations attempt to illuminate the obscure path of the origin of Cain's wife. The first theory is that God, in his omnipotence, could have created additional groups of people, dispersing them to different parts of the world. But here's the dilemma. When studying the pages of Genesis, we come across Adam calling Eve mother of all living. And he called Adam his wife's name Eve, for she was the mother of all living. Genesis 3:20. This contradicts the idea of separate groups, doesn't it? So, as we explore these possibilities, one question haunts us. How do we reconcile God's creation of distinct groups with Eve's designation as mother of all living? It is a puzzle that challenges our understanding and leads us to reflect on the subtext of Genesis. A mysterious web of possibilities is forming, and the truth seems more fleeting than ever. It seems that the answer to the origin of Cain's wife may be closer than we imagine. The other alternative suggests that Cain may have decided to follow a more familiar path. He may have married a sister or niece. Yes, we are talking about marriages within the family itself. In the early days of humanity, when population was just a speck on the map of existence, marriage between family members was not prohibited. It was a common practice, a necessity when options were limited. Imagine a world where the family network was the only option, and the concept of kinship took on a new meaning. It is difficult for us today to understand these dynamics, but in the early era of humanity, it was a reality. So does the answer to Cain's wife lie in the bloody connection of family ties? We are just scratching the surface of this mystery through Genesis. As we sail the stormy seas of mystery, we encounter an extra-biblical compass called the Book of Jubilees. He guides us along paths that the Bible alone may not reveal. This mysterious source suggests that Cain's wife may have had a name, Azura. Yes, Azura, daughter of Adam and Eve, whose story is revealed in an intriguing way. If you want to know a little more about Azura, we have a video on our channel talking about the daughters of Adam and Eve. Then go and check it out. According to the Book of Jubilees, after the tragic event that separated Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve continued their journey of life. And believe it or not, they had more children. Among these descendants was Azura, who by intertwined fate became the wife of Cain. The story becomes even richer when we imagine this meeting between Azura and Cain, a union that transcends the limits of traditional Genesis, but which, according to the Book of Jubilees, could have been the link that connects these iconic figures. So, did Azura, the daughter of Adam and Eve, really walk alongside Cain, facing the challenges of exile and unraveling the mysteries of life? We have reached the crux of this fascinating journey through the story of Cain and his enigmatic wife. This question, which has intrigued us since the beginning, takes us to a territory full of mystery and reflection. And the answer to the question, where did Cain get his wife? What is her origin? Is an extra-biblical answer, but makes us think and believe in this alternative. The question about Cain's wife is not just about a simple detail. It is an open door to the deep complexities of the biblical narrative, a narrative that challenges us to understand the inexplicable. Genesis, that masterpiece of religious literature, leaves intentional gaps. Gaps that are not flaws, but invitations for us, as explorers of this ancient saga, to speculate, question, and marvel at the stories that unfold. Therefore, I invite you to think beyond the written pages, to question traditions, to challenge convention. After all, what do we really know about the relationship between Cain and his wife? This uncertainty drives us to explore between the lines and find deeper meanings. We are faced with an enigma that transcends centuries, and the truth is shrouded in shadows. However, it is in this mystery that the beauty of the journey lies. Cain and his wife are characters in an epic inquiry that continues to defy our understanding. So, travelers of the unknown, If you too feel inspired by these riddles, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for embarking on this journey with us. If you liked it, leave a like, share it with other explorers, and sign up for more adventures into the unknown. Until next time, where we will continue to decipher the mysteries that biblical history has in store for us. See you soon.